Welcome to Getting to Yes, the video workshop on negotiation. In this program, Roger Fisher, William Ury, and Bruce Patton will show you how to transform adversarial confrontation into side-by-side problem solving.
Hello, I'm Roger Fisher, here with my colleagues Bill Ury and
Hello.
Bruce Patton.
Hello.
Welcome to the video workshop on negotiation. All of us negotiate all the time. You wouldn't be in your present position unless you were a good negotiator. People keep asking us, but isn't negotiation natural ability, not coaching? Once you're good at it, can't you just relax? I compare negotiation skills with those of an athlete. Natural ability is terribly important, but the more natural ability you have, the more you will benefit from coaching, from continuing to learn how to do it better and better. The professional tennis players at Wimbledon bring their coaches with them. They keep learning to get better all their lives.
I like that athletic metaphor. The curious thing that strikes me is that if we negotiate so much of our time with our bosses, our spouses, our peers, our customers, our suppliers, our kids, if we're negotiating, say, 50% of our time, and some people would say 90% of our time, the question I have is, if you were swimming, say, 50% of your time, you'd be in the Olympics. And the question I have is, as good as we all are, why aren't we all in the negotiation Olympics? And I think the answer lies in the fact that when you swim, you always have part of your mind focused on your stroke, on improving your stroke, on improving the process of swimming. When we negotiate, we have almost all of our attention focused on the substance, on the terms and conditions, on the price. Well, what this videotape workshop is about going over the process of negotiation so that we can all be in the negotiation Olympics.
One difficulty we often have is that the more you negotiate, the tendency is to get better and better at less and less. When the stakes are high, we focus on our most confident skills. But that means we get better and better at a few skills and leave others to wither away. We become one-sided, not very flexible or adaptable. Each of us has room to broaden our repertoire of negotiating skills.
And we're not just going to talk about negotiation. Words don't describe adequately what really happens. You're going to be watching a lot of different examples. We're going to be acting in examples, demonstrating what can be done in different kinds of negotiations. Mistakes people make, skills they use. Let's watch the first negotiation.
Mr. Gillum, I've already told you. My position is $14 million. If you want to take the station away from me, that's what it's going to cost you.
Mr. Bryant, our position is $8 million for your share. That's 8 times your share of cash flow. That's fair, that's reasonable. I don't understand where you're coming from.
Well, I get my number $14 million from what I know this station is worth. I'm the one who came in here 5 years ago when it was down and out as number 3 and built it to number 1. I know this station, and I know what it's worth, and $14 million is my share of what it's worth. That's what it's going to take.
Your partners have given me 2/3, an option on 2/3 for $16 million. Why is 1/3 worth $14 million?
My partners have not been around here nearly as much as I have. I'm the one who made this station. I really don't care what kind of deal they cut with you. My position is $14 million because that's what I know this station to be worth. If you want to take it away from me, that's what it's going to cost.
$8 million is our position, Mr. Bryant. That's a take it or leave it.
Well, $14 million is my position, and that's a take it or leave it.
Does that negotiating process look familiar? Adversarial, deadlocked, telling each other, not listening very well, not trying to understand where the other side is coming from, not treating the people with a whole lot of respect. There's a chance in negotiation to do it differently. We believe that negotiation would be better off if you can treat it as side-by-side problem solving. Both parties share a problem. They think that a negotiated agreement would be better for both than no agreement. And they share the problem of trying to find an agreement that both can live with, and a good agreement, one that doesn't leave potential joint gains on the table.
This whole video is a way of helping you prepare for negotiations, a way to think about it in an organized way, and a way to realize that in advance of negotiation, you can do a great deal that'll affect the total outcome. You'll thought about where you're going to end up, and therefore you know where to begin.
In other words, we want you to have always part of your mind focused on the process of negotiation before you go into the negotiation, during the negotiation, and then taking also a few minutes after the negotiation to ask yourself, what went right here? What went wrong? What could I do differently next time? What surprised me? So that you're learning from each negotiation because you have so much rich experience that if you can tap that experience and turn it into better and better skills, you will end up, as I mentioned, in the negotiation Olympics.
A point we're going to make throughout this workshop, this video, is to give you a big structure, the basic building blocks of negotiation, what they are. Interests, what do you really care about? What do they care about? Options, what are some possible agreements we could have? Let's get the range of what we could agree upon. Standards, how can I persuade them they're being fairly treated? How can they persuade me? How can I persuade myself that I'm being fairly treated, not being ripped off?
People. How do you deal with the people issues in negotiation? BATNA. What is your best alternative to a negotiated agreement if you can't settle? And closure. How do you get a deal?
After segment 6 on closure, we'll come back here for a final segment and help you put it all together. Let's begin with segment 1, interests.